there is a voice that has been trying to reach you. Not through your ears, not through your thoughts, through something older than both. It speaks in the architecture of your choices, in the strange gravity that pulls you toward certain moments and away from others, in the quiet knowing you feel at 3 in the morning when the noise of the day has finally stopped and something beneath your personality stirs awake. You have felt it. You may not have had a name for it, but you have felt it in the way a sentence in a book once stopped you cold, in the way a dream left a residue that lasted for days, in the way you sometimes look at the trajectory of your own life and sense, with an almost unbearable clarity, that you are not yet living the version of it that is actually yours. What if that feeling is not restlessness? What if it is not anxiety, not dissatisfaction, not the chronic modern habit of wanting more? What if it is a message? And what if the sender is not some external deity, not some cosmic authority handing down commandments, but the version of you that already exists on the other side of the transformation you keep postponing? Tonight, we are going to sit with something that most spiritual content will not touch honestly. We are going to talk about Thoth, not the cartoon version, not the greeting card mysticism that reduces one of the most sophisticated wisdom traditions in human history to an Instagram quote about manifesting abundance. We are going to talk about what the Hermetic teachings attributed to Thoth actually say about the nature of time, about the relationship between mind and matter, and about why the person you are becoming may be far more real than the person you believe yourself to be right now. And we are going to do it with the same rigor you would bring to understanding a physics experiment, because the principles underneath these ancient texts are not decorative. They are operational. They describe how reality works at a level that modern science is only now beginning to corroborate. Stay here, because what follows is not information. It is a confrontation with the part of yourself you have been avoiding. If you've been doing everything right and reality still hasn't shifted, this is the one thing nobody has told you. You meditate, you visualize, you affirm every single morning, and still, somehow, the life you're calling in stays just out of reach. It is not your effort. It is not your mindset. There is something underneath all of it, quietly running the show. I am hosting a free live transmission where I walk you through exactly what that is and how to finally shift it at the root. The link to register is in the description below. Save your seat. The moment you see this, you will understand why you could not see it before. Let us begin with a question that sounds simple and is not. Where does a thought come from before you think it? Sit with that for a moment. Not the content of a thought, not what you think, but the origin point. You are sitting somewhere right now, and a thought will arrive in your mind in the next few seconds. You did not schedule it. You did not choose it from a menu. It will simply appear as if delivered, and then you will claim it as yours. But if you watch carefully, if you pay attention to the millisecond before a thought becomes conscious, there is a gap. A sliver of time where the thought exists, but you have not yet grabbed it. It is in transit. It is arriving from somewhere. The Hermetic tradition, the body of wisdom attributed to Thoth, known to the Greeks as Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great, has a very specific answer to this question. And the answer is not metaphorical. The first principle of the Kybalion, the text that distills Hermetic philosophy into 7 core axioms, states it plainly. The all is mind. The universe is mental. This is not a poetic flourish. It is a cosmological claim. It says that the fundamental substrate of everything you see, touch, measure, and experience is not matter. It is not energy in the way physics typically frames it. It is consciousness. Mind is not something that happens inside a brain. A brain is something that happens inside mind. Now, if you have spent any time studying quantum mechanics, something about that claim should make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Because in 1927, at the Solvay conference in Brussels, a group of physicists including Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, and Wolfgang Pauli arrived at what became known as the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics. And what it says, stripped of the mathematics, is that a quantum system does not exist in a definite state until it is observed. Before measurement, a particle is not in one place. It is in a superposition of all possible states. The act of observation, the act of a conscious agent looking, collapses the wave function into a single outcome. Reality, at its most fundamental level, does not solidify until mind engages with it. Thoth's first principle. The universe is mental. Written according to tradition, thousands of years before the double-slit experiment proved that particles behave differently when watched. You can dismiss that as coincidence. Or, you can consider the possibility that the Hermetic tradition was not guessing, that it was describing, in the language available at the time, the same phenomenon that Max Planck would later call the matrix of all matter, which he said was governed by a conscious and intelligent mind. But this is not a history lesson. This is about you. Specifically, it is about the version of you that exists in a state of superposition right now. The version that has not yet collapsed into form because you have not yet observed it clearly enough to make it real. And that is the message. Not from some external Thoth sitting on a celestial throne. From the principle that Thoth represents. The principle that says your attention is not passive. It is creative. What you observe, you bring into being. What you refuse to look at remains a probability cloud, hovering, waiting, unresolved. Think about what that means for the future you keep imagining and then backing away from. You have a version of your life that visits you in quiet moments, a way of being, a quality of presence, a kind of work, a depth of relationship, a physical vitality, a creative expression. You know what it looks like. You can feel its texture. But every time you approach it, something pulls you back. Not an external obstacle, something internal, a contraction, a thought that says not yet, or not me, or that is not realistic. And in that moment of turning away, you are performing a very specific quantum act. You are refusing to observe. You are keeping your future in superposition. You are preventing the collapse that would make it actual. If this is resonating with you, if you can feel something shifting as you listen, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep going deeper together into these ideas. The Hermetic tradition calls this the second principle, the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. This is usually quoted as a mystical aphorism, but its operational meaning is precise. It says that the patterns that govern the smallest scale of reality also govern the largest. That what is true for a photon passing through a slit is also true for a human being passing through a life. The same laws apply. The same relationship between observer and observed holds. You are not exempt from quantum mechanics because you are large. You are a quantum system, an astronomically complex one, but a quantum system nonetheless. And the rules do not stop applying just because the system gets complicated. So when you stand at a crossroads in your life and you feel two possible futures pulling at you, one familiar and contracting, one unknown and expanding, you are not experiencing indecision. You are experiencing superposition. Both futures are real. Both exist as probability. And the one that becomes your actual lived experience will be determined not by fate, not by luck, not by the external circumstances you keep blaming, but by where you place your sustained, coherent observation. This is the message your future self is sending. Not in words, in pull. In that strange magnetic tug you feel toward the life you are not yet living. That tug is not fantasy. It is not wishful thinking. It is the felt experience of a probability wave reaching backward through time, trying to attract the observation it needs to collapse into form. And yes, I said backward through time, because this is where Thoth's teaching and modern physics converge in a way that should stop you in your tracks. In 1978, the physicist John Archibald Wheeler proposed what he called the delayed choice experiment. The idea was radical. He wanted to know whether the decision to observe a photon could affect what the photon had already done in the past. Not what it would do, what it had already done. The experiment was eventually carried out, most notably in 2007 by a team in France, and the result was unambiguous. The choice to observe a photon after it had already passed through the experimental apparatus changed whether it had traveled as a wave or a particle. The observation in the present altered the behavior in the past. Read that again. The present changed the past. I want to pause here and ask you something. Have you ever experienced a moment where you felt your future self pulling you forward? A moment of knowing that seemed to come from somewhere ahead of you rather than behind you? Drop that in the comments. I think you will be surprised how many others here share that exact experience. The Hermetic tradition has a name for this: the principle of cause and effect. The Kybalion states that every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. But it adds something that most people skip over. It says that the masses are carried along, obedient to their environment, the wills and desires of others, and to the effects of inherited causes. But the masters, rising to the plane above, dominate their moods, characters, qualities, and powers, and become movers instead of pawns. What this means, translated into the language of the delayed choice experiment, is that most people live as effects. They experience their present as caused by their past. My childhood made me this way. My trauma shaped me. My circumstances limit me. And within a certain frame, that is true. Causes do produce effects. But the Hermetic teaching says there is a higher plane of operation where this sequence reverses. Where the future you choose to observe, the future you commit to with the full weight of your consciousness, reaches backward and reorganizes the causal chain that leads to it. Wheeler himself hinted at this. He said that we are participants in bringing into being not only the near and here, but the far and long ago. That the universe is a participatory universe. That observation is not a spectator sport, but a creative act that shapes reality retroactively. Your future self is not a metaphor. It is a probability state. And it is reaching toward you right now, not through time as you understand it, because time as you understand it is a flattened, linear version of something far more fluid, but through the field of consciousness that connects all points of your existence simultaneously. The question is not whether the message is being sent. The question is whether you are willing to receive it. And receiving it requires something very specific. It requires you to stop identifying exclusively with your past. This is where most people get stuck. Not because they lack desire, not because they lack information, but because their identity is welded to their history. You think you are the sum of everything that has happened to you. You think your personality, your limitations, your patterns, your fears, all of it is you. But the Hermetic tradition says something different. It says you are the observer of all of that. You are the awareness in which your history appears, and the observer is not bound by what it observes. The eye is not limited by the landscape it sees. The consciousness that watches your fear is not itself afraid. The awareness that notices your pattern is not itself patterned. This is the third principle at work, the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates, and what this means practically is that the identity you think is solid, the personality you think is fixed, the self you think is you, is actually a vibrational pattern, a frequency, a habit of energy. And habits can be changed, not by fighting them, not by forcing a new pattern on top of an old one, but by shifting the point of observation, by withdrawing your attention from the frequency you have been sustaining and placing it, deliberately and consistently, on the frequency of what you are becoming. There is a practice embedded in this that I want you to try. Not later. Now. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. If you are driving, keep them open but soften your focus. I want you to feel, not think about, but feel the version of you that is 1 year from now. Not the version your fear projects. Not the version your cynicism expects. The version your deepest knowing recognizes as true. The one that has already made the choice you keep hesitating on. The one that has already walked through the door you keep standing in front of. Do not visualize this person from the outside, as if watching a movie. Become them. Feel what it feels like to be inside their body. Notice how they breathe. Notice the quality of their stillness. Notice how they hold their shoulders. Notice the steadiness behind their eyes. This is not imagination. This is observation. And observation, as we have established, is what collapses probability into actuality. Now notice something. As you hold that feeling, something in your chest shifts. There is a warmth, or an expansion, or a settling. Your nervous system responds to this observation as if it were real, because at the level of your biology, it is real. Your body does not distinguish between a vividly held internal experience and an external event. This is not New Age speculation. This is the basis of the placebo effect, one of the most well-documented phenomena in medicine. A sugar pill with no active ingredient can reduce pain, lower blood pressure, even shrink tumors, because the patient's observation, their belief, their sustained internal experience of healing sends signals to the body that are chemically identical to the signals sent by actual medication. The body responds to the mind's observation. As above, so below. The fourth Hermetic principle is the principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Heat and cold are not two different things. They are the same thing, temperature, at different points on a single spectrum. Love and hate, are not opposites. They are the same energy at different intensities. And here is why this matters for the message your future self is sending you. The life you are living now and the life you sense is possible are not two different lives. They are the same life at different points on a single spectrum. You do not have to be someone else. You do not have to destroy who you are and build a new person from scratch. You have to move along the spectrum. You have to shift the degree. And the mechanism for that shift is not effort in the way you have been taught to think about effort. It is not grinding, pushing, forcing. It is attentional. It is about where you place your awareness and how long you hold it there. Think about what happens when you are afraid. Your attention locks onto the thing you fear. It becomes narrow, fixated, repetitive. You rehearse the worst outcome. You feel it in your body. Your muscles tighten. Your breath shortens. Your digestion slows. Your immune function dips. Your entire biology reorganizes itself around the object of your sustained attention. Fear is not just a feeling. It is a creative act. It is observation collapsing a wave function. And the wave function it collapses is the one you do not want. Now think about what happens when you are in love. Not romantic infatuation, but genuine, deep love. Your attention expands. Your body softens. Your breath deepens. Your immune function strengthens. You become more creative, more generous, more resilient. Your biology reorganizes itself around the object of your sustained attention, and the wave function it collapses is one of connection, vitality, possibility. Same mechanism, different observation, different reality. This is not philosophy. This is physiology. The Institute of Heart Math has spent decades documenting the measurable electromagnetic field produced by the human heart, a field that extends several feet beyond the body and changes its coherence pattern based on the emotional state of the person. When you are in a state of fear, frustration, or anxiety, the heart's electromagnetic signal becomes erratic, jagged, incoherent. When you are in a state of appreciation, care, or love, the signal becomes smooth, ordered, coherent. And here is the part that matters. That coherent signal does not stay inside you. It radiates outward. It interacts with the fields of other people. It interacts with the quantum field itself. You are, quite literally, broadcasting a frequency into the fabric of reality, and reality is responding to the pattern of that broadcast. Let me ask you this. What is the one old pattern, the one old frequency that you know you are ready to release? Name it in the comments. There is something powerful about declaring it, about collapsing that wave function of letting go right here, right now, in front of this community. The fifth Hermetic principle, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This principle explains something that most people find deeply confusing about the process of transformation. It explains why change is not linear. You commit to a new way of being. You feel the expansion. You taste the possibility. And then, inevitably, the pendulum swings back. You fall into the old pattern. The old fear returns. The old habit reasserts itself, and you interpret this as failure. You think you have lost the progress. You think the transformation was not real. But the Hermetic teaching says no. The swing back is part of the rhythm. It is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that the pendulum is in motion, and the pendulum must swing in both directions before it can find a new center. What matters is not whether you swing back. You will. What matters is whether you swing back to the same depth. Because if you have genuinely shifted your point of observation, if you have genuinely held the frequency of your future self long enough to alter your baseline, then the backward swing will not reach as far as it used to. You will fall, but you will not fall as deep. And over time, the arc narrows, the oscillation dampens, and what was once a wild swing between old and new becomes a gentle rocking around a new center of gravity. This is how transformation actually works. Not as a single dramatic leap, but as a gradual recentering of the pendulum. Your future self knows this. Your future self has already been through the swings. Your future self is standing at the center that you are oscillating toward. And the message is not, hurry up. The message is not, you are running out of time. The message is, trust the rhythm. Stay with the observation. Do not mistake the backward swing for the end of the journey. But there is an urgency here, and I do not want to soften it into something comfortable. The urgency is not that time is running out in some cosmic deadline sense. The urgency is that every day you spend identified with the old pattern. Every day you spend observing the fear instead of the possibility. Every day you spend rehearsing the past instead of feeling into the future is a day the pendulum swings deeper into the old groove. Neural pathways strengthen with repetition. This is Hebb's law, one of the foundational principles of neuroscience. Neurons that fire together wire together. The thought pattern you repeat today becomes easier to repeat tomorrow. The emotional state you sustain today becomes the default state tomorrow. You are not standing still. You are always moving in one direction or the other, and the direction you are moving is determined by what you are observing. This is the sixth Hermetic principle. The principle of cause and effect, which we touched on earlier but now need to go deeper into. Because this principle does not just say that causes produce effects, it says that there are many planes of causation, and that those who operate on a higher plane can use the laws of the higher plane to rule on the lower. What does that mean in practical terms? It means that if you operate only on the plane of physical action, you are subject to the causes and effects of that plane. You push, something pushes back. You work hard, you get tired. You fight a pattern, the pattern fights back. But if you rise to the plane of mind, to the plane of observation and attention, you can initiate causes that the physical plane cannot resist. Because mind is prior to matter. Observation is prior to form. The wave function is prior to the particle. This is not about bypassing effort. It is about sequencing it correctly. Most people try to change their external reality first and hope their internal state will follow. They change the job, the relationship, the city, the body, and then wonder why they feel the same. The Hermetic teaching says, reverse the sequence. Change the observation first. Shift the internal frequency first. And then watch as the external reality reorganizes itself to match, not because of magic, but because of the same principle that makes a photon change its behavior when observed. You are the observer. Reality is the photon, and it will behave according to how you look at it. If you are feeling the depth of what we have been moving through, there is something more I want to offer. Have you spent years chasing manifestation, visualizing, affirming, raising your vibration, only to watch the same patterns repeat. Every traditional method assumes the same thing, that you are separate from what you want. That separation was never real. You were chasing a signal you were already broadcasting. Beyond the frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery walks through all 9 frequencies, from the dense transmissions trapping you, through the ascending currents, to the master frequencies where consciousness becomes the field. Every method you tried sent a signal outward. This one tunes the signal you already are. Every day you delay, your nervous system broadcasts the same old signal, and breaking free gets harder. So move on it tonight. The link is in the pinned comment below. Now, let us continue with the practice that brings all of this into direct experience. There is a specific practice I want to offer here, and it is tied directly to the Hermetic principle of mentalism. The idea that the universe is mental and that your mind is a localized expression of the universal mind. This practice is not meditation in the way most people think of meditation. It is not about emptying your mind. It is about directing it. Here is what I want you to do. Choose one area of your life where you feel stuck. Not vaguely stuck, specifically stuck. Maybe it is a relationship where the same argument keeps recurring. Maybe it is a creative project you keep starting and abandoning. Maybe it is a health pattern you cannot seem to break. Maybe it is a financial ceiling you keep hitting. Pick one. Now, instead of thinking about this area, I want you to feel into the version of it that is already resolved. Not the steps to get there. Not the plan. Not the how. The felt sense of it being done. Complete. Resolved. Integrated. Feel what your body feels like in that reality. Feel what your mornings feel like. Feel the quality of your attention when this area is no longer a source of friction. Hold that feeling for 2 minutes. Not 2 hours. Not 2 days. 2 minutes. But hold it with total commitment. Do not let the old pattern interrupt. Do not let the voice that says this is not real pull you out. For 2 minutes, observe the resolved version with the same intensity you usually reserve for observing the problem. What you are doing in those 2 minutes is collapsing a wave function. You are performing the same act that a physicist performs when they set up a detector at one slit or the other. You are choosing which possibility becomes actual by choosing which one you observe. And if you do this consistently, not once but daily, you will begin to notice something strange. The external circumstances around that stuck area will begin to shift. Not because you wished them into existence, because you changed the signal you were broadcasting into the field, and the field responded. Because you stopped reinforcing the neural pathways of the problem and started building the neural pathways of the resolution. Because you moved from being an effect of your past to being a cause from your future. This is the message. This is what Thoth's teaching, stripped of the mythology and the golden headdress and the ibis-headed iconography, actually says. It says you are not a creature buffeted by circumstance. You are a mind operating within a mental universe. And the degree to which you take responsibility for your observation is the degree to which you take authorship of your reality. The 7th Hermetic principle is the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This is not about biological sex. This is about the 2 fundamental modes of creative energy. The masculine principle is the initiating, projecting, directing force. It is the will, the intention, the focused beam of attention. The feminine principle is the receiving, gestating, forming force. It is the field that takes the seed of intention and grows it into form. It is the subconscious mind. It is the body. It is the quantum field itself, pregnant with possibility, waiting for observation to give it shape. Most people are out of balance between these two principles. They are all masculine, all force, all pushing, all trying to make things happen through sheer will. And they burn out because they never allow the feminine principle to receive and gestate. Or they are all feminine, all receiving, all waiting, all hoping, and nothing manifests because there is no directed intention to seed the field. The Hermetic teaching says both are necessary. You must hold the clear, focused observation of what you are becoming. That is the masculine principle, the directed beam of consciousness, and you must simultaneously release the need to control how it arrives. That is the feminine principle, the trust in the field's capacity to organize matter around your signal. This is the balance. This is the dance. And when both principles are operating in harmony, manifestation is not something you do. It is something that happens through you, the way a plant does not effort its way into bloom, but simply allows the conditions of sunlight and water and soil to express through its structure. Now I want to return to something I said near the beginning, because it is the linchpin of everything we have been exploring. I said that your future self is not a metaphor. I want to deepen that. In the standard model of time, the past is fixed, the present is happening, and the future does not yet exist. This is the model you were raised with. It is intuitive. It feels obvious. And it is almost certainly wrong. In 1908, the mathematician Hermann Minkowski, building on Einstein's special relativity, proposed that space and time are not separate. They are a single four-dimensional structure he called space-time. In this model, the future is not something that has not happened yet. It is a region of space-time that already exists. You are simply not at that coordinate yet. Imagine a book. The last chapter is not unwritten. It is already there, on page 300, fully formed. You are just on page 112. The end of the story exists. You have not read it yet. This is called the block universe theory, and it is taken seriously by a significant number of physicists. It does not mean the future is predetermined in the sense that you have no choice. It means that all points in time are equally real. The you of 10 years from now is not less real than the you of right now. They exist simultaneously within the block of space-time. And if the delayed choice experiment shows that observation in the present can affect events in the past, then it is not a stretch to say that observation in the present can also interact with events in the future. That the future you, the one who has already made the choice, the one who has already walked through the door, is not just a fantasy you are projecting forward. It is a real point in space-time, exerting a real influence on the present through the medium of consciousness. This is what the pull is. This is what that strange magnetism is, the one you feel toward a life you have not yet lived. It is not desire in the ordinary sense. It is resonance. It is 2 points in space-time vibrating at the same frequency, and the vibration creating a bridge between them. Your future self is not begging you in the way a person begs. Your future self is calling you in the way a tuning fork calls another tuning fork. Through sympathetic resonance, through the principle of vibration, through the simple physics of matched frequencies. And the reason it feels urgent The reason the title of this exploration includes the phrase "before it is too late" is not because there is a deadline. It is because coherence has a threshold. The longer you sustain an incoherent signal, the more energy it takes to shift to a coherent one. The deeper the groove of the old pattern, the more activation energy is required to jump to the new one. This is true in chemistry, where it is called activation energy. It is true in neuroscience, where it is called synaptic strengthening. And it is true in the Hermetic framework, where the principle of rhythm says that the pendulum's swing deepens with repetition. You are not running out of time in the absolute sense, but you are deepening a groove every day. And the deeper the groove gets, the harder the climb out becomes. Not impossible. Never impossible. But harder. And your future self, the one who exists at the coordinate where the groove has been transcended, knows this, feels this, and is sending the signal now through every quiet moment, through every flash of knowing, through every dream that leaves you shaken, through every sentence that stops you cold. Because now is when the activation energy is lowest. Now is when the jump is most available. Now is when the observation can most easily collapse the wave function in the direction of what you are becoming rather than what you have been. Consider coming back to this video tomorrow morning, before the noise of the day begins, and letting these principles reset your frequency from the very start. Or send it to someone you know who is standing at their own crossroads right now. When you share these ideas, you do more than pass along a video. You create a ripple in the field of collective awareness. And that ripple reinforces your own understanding of these principles, deepens your own coherence, and accelerates the very shift you are moving toward. The act of sharing becomes part of your observation. So what do you do with this? How do you honor the message? How do you stop being an effect and start being a cause? You begin by changing what you observe, not what you do. What you observe. Because doing follows observing the way a shadow follows a body. You do not change the shadow by grabbing it. You change the shadow by moving the body. And the body, in this metaphor, is your attention. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you read the news, before you engage with a single external stimulus, I want you to spend 5 minutes observing your future self, not thinking about them, observing them, feeling into their body, breathing their breath, noticing the quality of their awareness, holding the frequency of their reality as if it were already yours, because it is already yours. It exists. You are just not at that coordinate yet. But consciousness is non-local. Consciousness is not bound by space-time in the way matter is. This is what non-locality means in quantum mechanics. The experimentally verified fact that two entangled particles can influence each other instantaneously across any distance, as if space does not exist between them. Your consciousness and the consciousness of your future self are entangled. The distance between you is not measured in years. It is measured in frequency, and frequency can be shifted in a breath. 5 minutes. Every morning. Not as a ritual, not as a discipline, as an act of observation, as a scientific experiment in which you are both the experimenter and the experiment. Observe the future. Let the wave function collapse. Let the Hermetic principles do what they have always done, which is describe the actual mechanics of a universe that is, at its foundation, made of mind. There is one more thing, and this may be the most important part of the entire message. The Hermetic tradition teaches that Thoth was not merely a god or a mythological figure. Thoth was described as the scribe of the gods, the keeper of records, the master of words of power. In Egyptian cosmology, Thoth was the one who spoke the words that brought creation into being. Not who built creation with his hands, who spoke it, who used language, vibration, frequency to organize the formless into form. This is not unique to Egyptian mythology. In the Gospel of John, the opening line reads, "In the beginning was the Word." In the Hindu tradition, the universe begins with the sound Om, the primordial vibration. In quantum field theory, the most fundamental description of reality is not particles or waves, but fields. And fields are defined by their vibrational modes. The message your future self is sending is not content. It is vibration. It is not a set of instructions. It is a frequency. And the way you receive it is not by thinking harder. It is by tuning. The way you tune a radio, not by analyzing the signal, but by adjusting the dial until the static clears and the music comes through. You have been living in static, not because you are broken, not because you are doing it wrong, but because the dial has been set to a frequency that matches your past. And your past is loud. It is familiar. It has momentum. It has neural pathways carved deep by years of repetition. And the signal from your future self is quiet. Not because it is weak, because it is operating on a different band. A band your habitual mind does not scan. A band that only becomes audible when you stop, when you breathe, when you drop below the noise of your conditioned identity and listen with the part of you that existed before your name, before your story, before your first wound. That part of you is the observer, the one the Hermetic tradition calls the All, the one quantum mechanics points to but cannot name, the one that is not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your body, not your history, but the awareness in which all of those appear. And that awareness is already tuned to the frequency of your future self. It has always been tuned to it. You just keep turning the dial back to the old station, because the old station is familiar, and the human nervous system is wired to prefer the familiar over the true. Tonight, before you sleep, I want you to try something. Lie down, close your eyes, place one hand on your chest, and instead of reviewing the day, instead of planning tomorrow, instead of running the familiar loops, ask one question. Not with your mind, with your body, with the hand on your chest. Ask, what are you trying to show me? And then listen. Not for words, for sensation, for a shift in temperature, for a deepening of breath, for a subtle movement in the chest beneath your hand. The answer will not come in language. It will come in the same medium it has always come in. Vibration, frequency. The felt sense of a probability wave reaching toward you from a coordinate in space-time where you have already arrived. That is the message. Not a set of instructions, a resonance, not a command, an invitation, not a warning that time is running out, a reminder that the distance between who you are and who you are becoming is not measured in years or effort or worthiness. It is measured in the willingness to observe, to place your attention on what is emerging rather than what has been, to trust the rhythm even when the pendulum swings back, to hold the frequency even when the static is loud, to know, in the deepest part of your being, that the universe is mental, that observation creates reality, That your future self is not a fantasy, but a coordinate, and that the bridge between here and there is made of nothing more and nothing less than the quality of your attention. This is what the Hermetic tradition has been saying for millennia. This is what quantum mechanics has been confirming for a century. This is what your own body has been telling you every time it responds to a thought, as if it were a physical event. You are the observer. Reality is the observed, and the relationship between the two is not passive. It is the most creative act in the universe. If this landed somewhere deeper than your intellect, if you felt it in your body rather than just understanding it in your mind, then you are already receiving the message. You are already tuning the dial. And the version of you that exists at the other end of that frequency is already closer than it was when you pressed play. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper. Leave a comment with the one phrase or idea that stopped you tonight, the one that felt like it was meant specifically for you. Because it was. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who is standing at their own crossroads, caught between the familiar and the true, not knowing that the distance between the two is just a shift in observation. The signal is always being sent. The only question is whether you are willing to tune in.